Hi, it's Ben Page here, and this I'm going to be playing some more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Alright, here we go with the first race of the Flower Cup, and this is the third and final Mario circuit for this particular Mario Kart game. As I said in the first or second video, I think. It might have been the first one, but I don't know. Either way, as I said in the previous video, I did kind of wish there weren't three Mario circuits, but I think of the three, this is definitely my favourite, because it's got a really nice aesthetic to it. I really like how bright and vibrant everything is. I mean, this game in general is bright and vibrant, but even for this game, this course is one of the brighter ones, with lots of colours such as red, green, blue, and yeah, just lots of bright colours in general. Plus, there's a nice amount of detail and lots of different things to look at as you're driving through it. And the main thing I like about this is just, there's lots of loops and turns, and it's just got a really fun layout to drive around. Plus you can see lots of different things from the Mushroom Kingdom, such as the toad houses, the pipes, the brown plants, some Goombas, and you of course finish every lap near Peach's castle. So in general I think all the inclusions from the regular Mario games is what makes this a really good Mario circuit. Because, I mean, if you're going to have a Mario-themed race course, you might as well include as many different things from the platforming games as you possibly can. And I feel like this game has a good amount of those, whilst also just being a good course in general. So yeah, whilst I wish there weren't three Mario circuits, this is definitely my favourite out of the three that are in this game. Because it does have a fun layout, it's got a good aesthetic, and lots of nice details, and I guess Easter eggs to the Mario series. Well, not really Easter eggs, but I guess things that you'd see when playing a Mario game, as I said earlier, such as the toad houses and the Goombas and Peach's castle. I mean, none of the three Mario circuits are exactly great, but I think out of the three, this is definitely my favourite. Well, my favourite in this game anyway. I think my favourite overall is probably the second one that you race through in Mario Kart Wii. But this one's pretty close to that, and also adds its own unique flavour to the idea of a Mario circuit as well. So yeah, out of the ones in this game, it's definitely the best, and probably my second favourite overall as well. Although I do still wish there weren't three of them, because that definitely does seem like a little bit over the top, as far as Mario circuits go. But admittedly, at least they have one good one, which is this one. And I mean, the other two aren't bad, it's just, there doesn't need to be three of them. I feel like the other two could have easily been combined into one course, or the ideas from the other two could have been combined into one course. You could have had two Mario circuits, which then would have felt distinctly different from each other. I wouldn't have minded there being that many, because two really isn't that many at all, whereas three does feel like one too many. But either way, I do kind of quite like that one, and that's the end of that race. Alright, the second race of the Flower Cup is Toad's Harbour. Yeah, this is another one that I do quite like. I mean, it's not quite up there for me personally with courses like Wario's Gold Mine or DK Jungle, but it's definitely quite a good one. There's a pretty good section coming up just here, where you've got quite a nice curve that you can sort of go around quite quickly. And plus, you know, there's the little ramp at the end, so that's kind of fun. I do sort of feel like the whole thing of going through a town has sort of been overdone in Mario Kart though, which is perhaps the one thing that detracts from this course. Apart from that, it's a pretty decent one. It's definitely another one of the ones where it's not exactly one that I get excited to race on, but I don't dislike it either, it just kind of exists. And there are a few things I like about it, a few things I don't like about it. So yeah, it's just sort of there. Sort of on the higher end of mediocre, though, in my opinion. It's definitely closer to being a good course than a bad course. I mean, there aren't really that many actually bad ones, but I mean, in comparison to everything else in this game, it's probably in the higher end of the middle, I would say. Not exactly one of my favourites, but it's nowhere near one of my least favourites either. Yeah, I've just got about one lap left. I mean, there's still the end of this lap, but yeah, pretty much at the end of this lap, so then there'll be one after this. And that'll be it for this one. Not really much else to say about this course. I mean, I guess the trams are kind of an interesting hazard tandem course. They are kind of difficult to avoid at times. Occasionally a little bit annoying, but they are still a fun addition to this course. Also, I do quite like the palm trees going on the side. That's a nice little detail. Yeah, before I recorded this video, I was making my lunch, and of course I ate it as well, but while I was making it, pretty much everything that could have gone wrong with making it, besides the house catching on fire, did go wrong. I spilled the beans all over myself, and then actually, even before that, my nail essentially got caught underneath part of the bean can, and it got stuck in there for quite a while. Like I was sort of tugging and yanking it, it wouldn't get out. I swear my thumb felt like it was going to break off at one point, so I was probably yanking a little bit too hard, quite honestly. But yeah, it just sort of got stuck in there as I was trying to open it. Of course, as per usual, the top of the thing came off, so I couldn't open the bean can the normal way. I swear I almost cut myself as well at one point, which was kind of dumb, but yeah, then I spilled the bean everywhere. Then, as I was taking it off of the grill pad, the beans on toast sort of flipped over on itself, and the beans spilled all over the plate. I mean, it still tasted fine, but pretty much everything up until the point where I was eating it went wrong. Just literally everything that could have gone wrong went wrong with that. Apart from, obviously, you know, an actual fire happening or anything serious like that. But yeah, that was a disaster of a lunch. Luckily it still tasted fine, as I said, but yeah. You know, actually, that kind of reminds me, I think it was last week, I was grating the skin off a avocado, and then I accidentally cut myself whilst I was grating it, so yeah, in general, I had quite a few mishaps whilst making my lunch recently. I mean, nothing major, but yeah. Yeah, in general, I am quite a clumsy person. I do always seem to find a way of messing stuff up, even really basic things. Like, I mean, my dad's sort of been doing some work in the bathroom recently, and yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I stepped on the tiles. Didn't cut myself, but still, yeah. In general, I'm way too clumsy. I mean, obviously I can't really help it, I'm just a clumsy person, but I stub my toe at least once per week. Tend to have mishaps of some kind when making my lunch. Yeah, all sorts of stuff happens. Very rarely anything serious, but yeah. Mostly stubbing the toe. It's a surprise that I actually have any toes left at this rate, considering how often I stub them. Anyway, let's focus on what I'm doing now. Yeah, I do quite like this section of this course. It sort of reminds me, although I haven't watched that many, it sort of reminds me of some of Tim Burton's films with the aesthetic of this one. I mean, not so much this section, but definitely the underwater bit with those weird googly-eyed fish. They're sort of weirdly creepy yet cute at the same time. Definitely a very odd aesthetic, but kind of an aesthetical choice that I do quite like with that section. And as I said, very Tim Burton. At least I think it looks sort of Tim Burton. I mean, this section does as well, a little bit, but the underwater section looks especially like something from one of their films. And also this entranceway with the essentially haunted mouth house thing. Very much looks like something from the Tim Burton film. I mean, they do tend to sort of have anthropomorphized buildings and things like that. Does seem to be a common choice that they'll make with their films. At least from the few that I've seen. Also from what I remember from the name. Yeah, I feel like in general the ghost-themed Mario Kart course is always very good. Like aesthetically they look very cool. There's lots of really interesting traps and things that you have to avoid. In general, the ghost-themed Mario Kart courses are probably some of the better ones that they have in the series. At least I think so. Alright, here we go with the final race. The final race is Shy Guy Falls. Whilst my favourite courses aren't in this particular cup, I think this cup definitely has the best variety and is the best overall cup out of the Grand Prix in this game. Because it has a lot of variety, and whilst the courses aren't necessarily my absolute favourite, there are none that I dislike in this cup, and there are also a couple that I do quite like, even if they're not my favourites. So I think this is definitely quite a strong cup overall, and probably the best Grand Prix in the game. Definitely the best out of the early ones anyway. Let's go get some power-ups. We'll see what I got. I mean, first, so probably not anything good. And yeah, it's a banana peel and a coin, so big whoop-de-doo, I mean. That's not exactly exciting. Not really something that's going to change the race that much, that's for sure. You know, one thing I have noticed about Mario Kart, I'm not sure whether I like or dislike this, but it's definitely something that I've noticed, is all the characters are a lot more over the top than they are in the main series Mario games. Like, I think it's most noticeable with Mario, Donkey Kong and Wario, but even with all the other characters, they're essentially sort of really over-the-top, overly animated versions of themselves. Like, I mean, for example, I know this isn't a Mario game necessarily, but Wario does tend to act like this in the main Mario games as well. In Smash, he's kind of got a lot more depth to him, and he's sort of got a lot more personality, whereas in Mario Kart his personality is essentially grunting and hey, I love money. I mean, I like Wario as a character in general, but I do feel like in Mario Kart him and a few of the other characters are a little bit over the top. Especially in comparison to how they typically act. I mean, you know, the Mario characters in general are quite over the top, but I feel like they do sort of rein it in a bit with some of the other games, whereas with Mario Kart, I guess because of the low age rating, they just go as over the top as they possibly can with some of the voice lines and animations. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think I do sort of prefer the still over the top, but slightly more toned down versions that are in the mainline Mario games and in Smash, with the one exception possibly being Bowser, because especially in Smash, but even in the main Mario games, Bowser is a little bit dull, whereas in Mario Kart he does have a bit more of a personality. So with some characters they're better in Mario Kart renditions, but most of them I'd say they're just too over the top to really be good characters. I mean, it sort of works because you're mostly focused on the gameplay of Mario Kart and focused on your driving and stuff like that, but it is still something that I've noticed, that the characters tend to sort of go a lot more over the top in Mario Kart than they do in the main games. That'll be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.